Yeah, I should have done a video on Monday, so that would be yesterday or day before yesterday, depending on when I get this video out. Look, don't blame me. Blame Ghost of Tsushima. How addicting is that game? Oh, I suppose that is my own slothfulness, so you can go ahead and blame me. Point is, if you're looking to escape the bus fire of 2020, found the perfect movie. Let's talk about it. Castaway. So Castaway was directed by Robert Zemeckis. It stars Tom Hanks. It also came out in the year 2000. Tom Hanks plays this FedEx the supervisor of some sort. I don't know his exact position because I don't know the FedEx structure. Point is, he's a very fast-talking, go-get-him kind of guy. You know, tick-tock, 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 live and die by the clock. He's hitching a ride on this airplane that deviates off course to avoid a storm, and then the plane goes down, and so now he's stranded on an island, and nobody knows where he is. So now he is a castaway. And I'm gonna give a spoiler warning. Yes, the movie's coming up on 20 years old at this point, but still, I mean, I'm not gonna step by step take you through, but I do talk about the ending, and so spoiler warning. And it seems only fair. I'll give you the spoiler warning the trailer never gave us. If there are any lists out there of movie trailers that ruined the movie, I imagine Castaway is on every single one of them. I remember this trailer clearly. I worked at the movie theater at the time. I was a projectionist, and this movie trailer showed the entire movie from beginning to end, right down to the last shot of the trailer being the last shot of the movie. Wait, strike that, reverse it. Oh, I guess it works that way. Point is, it's weird, man. It's a bad trailer, but a really good movie. So that's what I like about the fact that I revisited Castaway, because I hadn't seen it since it came out on VHS, so now that it's a couple decades later, so now I can stop being pissy about the fact that the trailer showed the entire movie, and I can just enjoy Castaway for what it is. And what it is definitely the Tom Hanks show. This is Tom Hanks from beginning to end, because most of the movie is Tom Hanks on this island alone. It never cuts back to the mainland of people may or may not be looking for him. It doesn't show how Helen Hunt, who plays his girlfriend in the movie, doesn't show how she's processing it. You're just here with Tom Hanks on this island. Well, Tom Hanks and the volleyball Wilson, which is a great supporting character. And that's one of the things I like about Castaway. Castaway has some great philosophical points just about human beings in general. And Wilson in this movie is one of them. It shows that in isolation, people will try to find some form of normal interaction. Not every movie that deals with isolation deals with people's apparent need for what they consider normal human interaction, and the lengths they'll go to try to achieve that when there are no human beings around. I mean, I'm no doctor or psychologist, but when I see Tom Hanks interacting with Wilson the volleyball and his connection with Wilson, I don't see a crazy person. I see a sane person. I see someone's brain trying their hardest to keep them sane. It's just one of the many fantastic elements in this movie. Now, for the first, we'll call it half of the time we see Tom Hanks' character on this island, he just lands there. He's definitely nurtured by the outside world. And I mean, you look at this guy, he looks like any of us who would just be stranded on this island. He's trying to figure out how to survive in this place. The second half is a 4-year jump, and now we see he's a veteran of the craft. He's much skinnier now. He's made really efficient tools out of all the garbage he found washed up on the shore from the little FedEx boxes. His hair is long, his beard is long. No, I'm not trying to go there. I'll be honest with you. I'll stop at the Jason Momoa. You think I'm messing with you? No, it's just so I could be like, permission to come aboard. It's gonna be epic. But there was something I noticed this time that my more youthful brain picked up at the subconscious level, and I didn't see it then. Now I'm like, oh, smart move. There was something about this movie that always felt more grounded, more real, less theatrical. I always felt like I was on this island with this character more than any other movie about a person being stranded on an island that I can think about. Or think of, rather. Better phrase. And that's because there's no musical score in this movie. He's on this island and there's no music except the time he starts singing The Doors. That's your music. Other than that, there's no musical score until much later. And the fact that there was no musical score until that point made that moment ever more impactful. Music in a movie it's the great manipulator of cinema. You know, it's the filmmaker's way of massaging your emotional state into the state they require for you to process the scene in the way they want you to process it. Action scenes are more intense because of the music. Dramatic scenes are more dramatic because of the music. But in terms of Castaway, the emotional state you get is from Tom Hanks showing emotion when he shows emotion. He's thinking about his girlfriend. You really feel it. But there's no musical manipulation there. Really, you're on this island, so it allows you to process this scenario how you would process it. You feel like you're on the island. And I'm gonna be real with you, for as long as I can remember, that's just a fascinating thought to me. The fact that there are a multitude of successful shows and movies about people being stranded on islands. I don't feel I'm alone in this. Maybe it was because of Castaway, probably earlier than that. Maybe even Gilligan's Island gave me this sensation. I always felt that it was a fascinating thought to be stranded on an island. Like, what would I do? And I feel like the reason that myself and a lot of people are drawn to that thought is because it's like Adama said in Battlestar Galactica. I forgot exactly how he said it, so I'm going to paraphrase, but he said something along the lines of, never underestimate people's want for a fresh start. And that is what being stranded on an island would give you. It is, in its way, a fresh start. And that's really what Tom Hanks gets in this movie, is a fresh start. Tom Hanks is quoted as saying something along the lines of, being stranded on that island was the best thing that could have happened to his character in the movie, and I don't disagree. I mean, you look at the guy, he's high-strung, he's a workaholic. Whether or not he wants to be a workaholic, I don't know, or maybe he's just trapped in that work environment. He just has to be a workaholic because that's what the job requires. But he's living and dying by his calendar, and then boom, he's on this island, and now things are different, which is funny because his live and die by the clock philosophy does help him when he's trying to get off the island. But when he first gets on that island, at no point is he like, oh, did I pay the electric bill? No, it's more real than that, things get very simple, very fast in that kind of scenario. This isn't just a movie about a guy on an island, it's a movie about commencement. It's a movie about someone literally entering the state of change and becoming another person in another life. And he does emerge from this scenario with a different outlook on life, and it can strongly be argued that it is a better one. All the noise and stress of life that he considered necessary elements of life that weren't are gone now. They're washed away. They're not just left on the island, they're left on the shoulders of a guy who legally died when he was on the island. He now gets to proceed in life with this newfound perspective for life. And for a lot of us, myself included, it would probably take a plane crash on an island to get us there. And in my way, I envy him. Which brings me to the end of Castaway, and I think the end of this movie is perfectly ambiguous for the theme they're going for here. It leaves you on this note of, oh, what happens next? And when I was younger, when this movie was in theaters and I saw it, I hated the ending. But now, 20 years later, I see it as a perfect ending. The theme of a crossroad and uncertain possibilities, which path should you choose? That is completely not what would have worked for this character in the beginning of this movie. He can roll with that uncertainty where he couldn't before. That's what Castaway is. Castaway, to me, is just the theme of life. Anyhow, of all the movies of people being stranded on islands, Castaway is the one that really hits me to the core of how I kind of see the scenario. Among Tom Hanks' performance, the fascination of this guy figuring out how to survive on this island, then figuring out how to get off of this island, the transition from one state of mind and one life to the other, and the brilliant call to not have a musical score while he's on the island. There's a lot in Castaway that works for me. If YouTube was around back when this movie came out, and if I did reviews back when this movie came out, it probably would have been one of my favorite movies of that year. It's not just about a guy on an island. It's an individual, personal story about human beings. It's about you, it's about me, it's about all of us. And I feel like most anyone who watches Castaway, if you're looking for that, you'll find that here. And I'll say Castaway is awesome-tacular. All right, so Castaway, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's another movie about someone being stranded on an island that you dig? And what's your favorite if it's not Castaway? If it is Castaway, well, tell me what you like about Castaway. Point is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to come aboard.